What's going on, Clipper fans? Jonathan Timm here, back for a preseason interview. Hey, we're getting close to the summertime. I know Clippers fans can't wait. I can't wait to be back and see what's in store for the 2024 Muskegon Clippers baseball season. So today, I'm here sitting down with a former Central Michigan baseball standout, a Hall of Fame Michigan high school coach for baseball. He's currently the GM of the Clippers after coaching the organization in its earlier days. And most importantly, he's a proud and supportive father and grandfather. He is Walt Gawkowski. Walt, how are you doing today in these
I'm
early spring months?
I'm great, Jonathan. Great. Just anxious to get things going here. Anxious to see you back in Muskegon and kick this 2024 season off.
Yeah, indeed. I'm very excited. We already see some of the Clippers who are into this upcoming season get their college days going. So we'll definitely keep updates on how they're doing in their collegiate campaign. So, Walt, I got a few questions for you today. If you can inform the fans, we're 3 months out from the season. Can you explain your duties as general manager within the organization during the offseason and what's all going on behind the scenes from your perspective?
Well, probably a lot more than people think. I mean, much of the offseason, of course, is trying to fill the roster. So I started that last September, and it takes like several months. I probably wound it up about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So that's priority number one. In addition to that, we are busy trying to acquire more sponsorships, trying to create new revenue sources. That's always critical for our organization. And then this year is kind of different in the sense that we've started the process of the Marsh Field renovation. So any day now, we hope to have some conceptual drawings from our architect, and then we'll launch a capital campaign. And the goal being to try to renovate and preserve what I think is an important part of not only our baseball history here in Muskegon, but our city's history. So that's been pretty time consuming as well.
I can imagine. Of course, Marshfield now, the oldest minor league ballpark in Michigan. Definitely a challenge to keep up to date. But I mean, the Gawkowski family and the Clippers have been doing an incredible job of keeping it a sustainable baseball facility. So my second question for you now, obviously you're putting together the roster, coming off the greatest season in franchise history. I mean, 33 wins and 5 losses. It's never been done before in the league, but that's got to be a nice sales pitch when it comes to finding talent to fill the roster. But more importantly, what are the characteristics and aspects that you need in the right player out there ultimately to become a Muskegon Clipper?
Well, I think first and foremost, I mean, there has to be a baseline of talent. So we're looking for talented players. There's no question about that. And I don't think anybody in the organization would ever apologize for trying to win. So, and you can't do that unless you've got quality athletes on the field. So that's first and foremost. Secondly, we're looking for guys that love the game of baseball because, as you know, there's a lot of travel involved. It's as close as you can come to a minor league experience. It's a grind. So you got to love the game. You got to be committed to the game. So we want those types of players that have some grit and a desire to develop and get better. And of course, character is critical as well. Guys that will put the team first, guys that want to be part of something bigger than themselves. That's critical as well. When you count the number of players that we are going to be putting into host families, we certainly can't put somebody into a host family, into somebody's home that isn't of high character. So those are really the things that we look for, and we vet them. I vet them. I try to do the very best I can to deliver in those areas. And we haven't missed very often, Jonathan. So we've been pretty fortunate.
Yeah, I can tell. And especially, I mean, last year being my first season there, just the chemistry of the
Yeah,
Clipper
yeah.
guys on road trips at the ballpark or even off the field, just doing stuff together, I think is very important when it comes to putting together a team, even if it's just for a 2 month long season. Now, we may have discussed this before last year, but I think following such a successful season with so many stories, a lot of ups, obviously the end was a little bit of a downfall, but incredible moments throughout the 2023 campaign nonetheless. And I think we needed an updated answer. But from last year specifically, what was in your opinion, the greatest moment of the year if it had to be ultimately up to you?
Well, that's hard to answer because there were so many great moments. I guess the most exciting nights were probably, having a big crowd, enjoying themselves, and having that walk-off win. I recall, Raya Reinhardt from Kalamazoo College, who hit that big home run, and the reaction of the people to that was really really special. I mean, it was tremendous. And then of course the night that we clinched the Northern Division for the first time, that was very very memorable as well. But anytime we can get out there and you see the people in the stands enjoying themselves, watching high quality baseball, and a Clipper victory, man, it's a great night, Jonathan.
Yeah, there were not very many Clipper losses at Marshfield last year, so
That's true.
the squad definitely gave the crowd something to smile about. And that kind of leads me to my next question. You and your family have done a lot for the Clippers, and Marshfield last year really put the Muskegon Clippers organization on the map and really let the whole Great Lakes League know that this will be a championship contending team, and despite being a faraway team and an inconvenient travel for some of it opposing teams in the league, like, it's hard to gain respect and trust, but that's what the Clippers did, especially last year. Now, sell the Clippers organization to the fans. Obviously, we just talked about some fun nights at Marsh last year, but why should the Muskegon community and beyond come out to the ballpark for a Clips game this summer?
Well, once again, it's cost effective. Ticket prices are going to rise this year by a couple of dollars. I don't know if I should have made that announcement right now, but
High
it is
demand, high demand.
it is extremely affordable. It is high quality baseball. There's a tremendous atmosphere. There's obviously food, some adult beverages. There's a lot of fan engagement. It's family friendly, and I just think it's hard to find a more enjoyable evening if you're a baseball fan for what is now going to be $7. But I hope the fans will understand that our costs of travel and everything else are rising as well. So it's critical that we try to get to the break-even point, which we've been unable to do in the past several years. But so I hope everybody, that won't drive people away. But I would ask those who have not seen the Clippers to give us a try. I think if you came out to Marshfield, you watched a couple Clippers games, you'd understand and you'd come back because it is really an enjoyable evening.
It makes sense for the need to increase revenue, especially with the new league formats. The Clippers are going to be traveling to Southern Ohio, Xenia, Cincinnati, and Lima a whole lot more than maybe they have in the past, which also means those teams are going to come to Marsh. So for the fans, that's new opponents in this upcoming year as well. So one more question for you, Walt. I know you got things to do today, but this one's a little more just as a baseball fan. Will the Dodgers win the World Series with all their talents, or are they gonna choke it away again? I know you as a Tiger fan, me as a Brewer fan, kind of hope that's the case, but with Shohei and Yamamoto pitching, do the Dodgers win it all this year?
Well, if I had to put money on it, I'd probably say they are definitely the favorites. But in my heart of hearts, I hope they don't. I'd rather see an organization that builds through the draft, develops players, gets them to the major league level, and ultimately wins a world championship with those players, as opposed to dipping into free agency and trying to buy yourself a World Series. I know the Dodgers probably do a very, very good job developing players, but I'd like to see I guess you would call it a mid-market kind of team like the Brewers or the Tigers, and see them contend for a world championship. That would be my druthers, but pretty hard to bet against the Dodgers with the lineups they have. So much depends on injury, and do players play up to their expectations? You know how all that goes, but it should be exciting. I can't wait to get this thing started. I think March 28th, the Tigers Open.
Yeah,
So looking forward to
it's
it.
a very good Good point you made right there. But thank you for your time today, Waltz. I appreciate it a lot. I'm sure the fans out there are going to enjoy this one and get them more excited for the upcoming 2024 Muskegon Clipper campaign.
Well, thanks, Jonathan. You know, you've done a tremendous job last year. We are just thrilled that you're back with us. So looking forward to having you back in West Michigan. And I think we've got a real good group of young men coming in here. Only 2 holdovers from last year in Braden Benton, who did get injured early, so the fans didn't get a long look at Braden. And Stoney Smith, who has been with us now for the 3rd year. So really excited. Stoney's going to give us a little bit of a veteran presence and be kind of a team leader for us. So I am thrilled to welcome those 2 guys back. So a very talented group, and looking forward to seeing them perform on the field. And I think the fans of the Muskegon area are going to enjoy them. And if they don't, and if we don't have the kind of success we're supposed to, it'll be my fault, Jonathan. But we're going to have a very, very, very competitive team. I really like the athleticism of this particular group.
Well, we feel the excitement, Walt. I'm sure the fans do as well, and hopefully they're as excited to get back to the ballpark as we are. But Clippers fans, thank you all for tuning into this special edition interview with General Manager Walt Gawkowski. We're counting down the days till that opening nights against the rival Lima Locos. And until then, we will see you next time and keep you posted these upcoming weeks.